Proliferation and Trade is recognized.
Madam Secretary, glad to have you back here. I want to join so many of my colleagues who have praised your work for our country and how much you've been able to accomplish with less than 1% of our budget. I've got a lot of topics to cover and would expect that you just want to respond for the record, but interrupt me at any point if the Spirit moves you. The first is to focus on the Javik region of Georgia. We have been very generous to the Republic of Georgia. Javik is a region in southern Georgia with a large ethnic Armenian population, and the Embassy of Georgia is now in support of the idea of the United States focusing a good chunk of its aid for Georgia on the Javik region. This would help bind Javik to the Republic of Georgia and would help achieve our goals in the Caucasus. Last time you were here, I mentioned the idea of Voice of America broadcasting in the Sindhi language. This committee adopted my amendment unanimously to direct the Voice of America to spend $1.5 million broadcasting in the Sindhi language. I am not sure that that bill will become law, but it does show the wisdom of the committee. There are elements in the government in Islamabad who would prefer to try to impose the Urdu language on the entire country. In fact, the idea of imposing the Urdu language on what was then East Bengal created, as much as anything, the independent Republic of Bangladesh. And I would hope that in deciding whether to broadcast in the Sindhi language, we not try to accommodate the most extreme nationalistic or just extreme position of some elements in Islamabad, because right now we're broadcasting in Urdu, and Sindhi is spoken by far more people in Pakistan. And we do have a very complicated relationship with the Pakistani government. We need to reach out to the Pakistani people, particularly those in the Sufi-influenced south of Pakistan, where the version of Islam is so compatible with American values. I know I won't be the only person up here to talk about Camp Liberty and how important it is that we assure the humanitarian safety of everyone who is there. There are certain elements to how that camp has been set up that makes it look not almost like a prison camp. There are reports that the residents have no access to lawyers, their family, no freedom of movement. And obviously the Iranian government is going to be pressing the Iraqis to be as inhumane as possible to the residents of that camp. And I hope that we will be pressing on the other side. And then finally, and this is a propitious day with regard to this issue, as you may know, there is the SWIFT system, which is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. There is an effort to exclude all Iranian banks from that system. And earlier today, I had a chance to talk to Chairman Bernanke, who represents us in the SWIFT system and has a role in supervising that system. And he said that he didn't have a national security advisor over at the Federal Reserve and would want to hear from elements of the government that do focus on national security, whether it is in our interest not just to exclude some Iranian banks, but all Iranian banks from the SWIFT system, thus further isolating Iran's financial system. And so perhaps you could respond here as to whether you would advise the Chairman to do everything possible to exclude all Iranian banks from the SWIFT system.
Yes, we certainly would. And we believe that using the SWIFT system is a very effective way of further isolating Iran and the Iranian flow of financial transactions. So we will engage with the Federal Reserve in terms of providing such information. And with respect to all of your other issues, Congressman, we will get back to you in a timely manner.
Thank you. And I hope your advice to Bernanke would be all Iranian banks, not just those that have been sanctioned by the EU.
Thank you, Mr. Sherman. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Mr. Burton, the Chairman on Europe and Eurasia.